Are you ready for some ear candy? Today I'm going to show you how I installed this Borla S-Type 2 exhaust on this 2011 Corvette. But most of all, I hope you enjoy it and hope you learn something from it.
Now let's go ahead and listen to the standard exhaust, the GM standard manufactured exhaust. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull off the muffler system. And I'm going to start by removing these nuts and bolts right here on each side. I'm going to move back here and take the muffler off the hangers. And I'll probably have to remove the sway bar so I can tilt it a little farther back. There we go. We have one of these on each side, and this is a 15 millimeter. Now last night I loosened these up with some penetrating oil so that they come off pretty easy. And that is exactly what they're doing, which is a blessing in disguise. I'll go ahead and remove both of these on each side, or one on each side. Now this has one of those forming washers. And I'll go ahead and set it right here the same way as it is that I take it off. Hanger bolts on the exhaust. And there are two on each end. So here's one. Here's another one here. And those are with a 1/2-inch socket. So two for each exhaust. And that should allow the back end to drop off of the rubber grommets there. And these rubber hanger grommets will need to be removed and replaced. These are pretty good, so I don't need to replace them, but I do need to install them on the new Borla exhaust. There we go. I was able to pull them off. It was a little bit of effort, but I was able to get them off. There we go. I have the hangers off with the rubber grommets. Right here. I can see I need to remove the sway bar and jack the car up some more so that I can rotate the muffler downwards. Okay, I went ahead and removed the crossover H pipes, and these were a 15 bolt on here, and two on each side. And the reason I did that, because I'm going to go ahead and slide this out just so it's easier to remove the muffler in the back, and it's not connected to the bar. Now there's also a bracket right here, and these are a size 13 and one on each side. I'll go ahead and remove those too. That way I can just move it back and I can get at the exhaust real easily. There we go. After lots of wiggling and moving, I was able to get the H pipe loose and moved over. And this is the only thing I need to disconnect right here. And then I can move the exhaust out and install the new exhaust. I'll put a little lubricant around the stainless steel piping just to make it a little easier to slide out. There we go. Just install everything in reverse of the uninstall. Make sure you tighten all the nuts and bolts, to include the H-type exhaust. Remember, 35 foot-pounds right there. The connection from the axle back to the exhaust. The clamps right here at the back of the axle back exhaust, and the 4 bolts for the exhaust hangers, 2 on each one. One of the challenges I had in installing the Borla exhaust is that on the back side of the exhaust there's a connection that the standard GM exhaust does not have, and it was a challenge to get a ratchet and socket up in this area right here to tighten the tubing around the exhaust. So what I did is I put an extension on the ratchet and went up through this area right here on the back side, and then was able to get a socket around the nut and tighten it on this side and on the other side of the exhaust.
One of the last things I did was I pulled out my leveler and I put it on top of the exhaust. And what I wanted to do is make sure that it was level with the ground and everything aligned up. And what I did was I loosened all the nuts and bolts and did a lot of moving around of the exhaust system until I got it perfectly aligned. Once I was able to do that, then I started to tighten everything and torque everything down. To me, that worked best. It allowed everything to be 100% aligned. As you can see, I worked it until I was able to get the bubble in the center of the level, and then my job was complete.